up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're into real shit only, watch this video. Yes, sir. So, on my journey to becoming my highest self, my best version, every Sunday, like today, we're training in Luneta Park with Master Ismael Boy Garcia. He's making me the best fighter that I can be, the best man also, by him showing by example. So that's one of my role model, my master right there in martial arts. And like I said, I'm always gonna show you guys basic video. So if you're interested in learning self-defense, Filipino martial arts, check it out, man. I'm gonna put it in this video. But in this video right now, I'm gonna be talking about why are people scared of gangsters? Why are everyone scared of gangsters? You know what I mean? And what better way to answer that by showing myself or my life as an example. So, you know what I mean? Just it was just a whole different experience for me, gangbanging on the streets. To those who don't know, back in 2003, since Silmar Juvenile Hall, this is in LA County. I was uh I was in Unit Z on an unfit building at 15 years old. I got charged as an adult. My mindset was like on a whole different mindset. Like you won't believe it. Even some of the girls right there that are gang members or gang bangers. I remember, like, I think I mentioned this before. This girl named, they call her Baby Doll or something. I met her on the bus. She was a chola chola from Valinda Flats, and bro, I think she was like 14 or 15, and she was talking about, I don't give a fuck, eh? I'm gonna get life, I'm gonna get life in prison. I don't know if she was just trying to be cool or trying to sound tough in front of the other gangsters or other gang members right there on the bus on the way to court. Who knows, who knows what's going on the brain of a little kid. And sometimes we don't even know why people join their gangs. So, quick story, 2003, you would have volunteers, like Good Samaritans, sometimes Christian folks. They have testimonies. Some of them would talk about their alcohol abuse that ruined their life. And us little kids are just like, who are these people, man? Coming here to juvenile hall telling us, like, trying to teach some shit. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that, you know what I mean? So many people came in there, teachers, professors, just, regular people, regular civilians. And from my observation, from my experience, nobody listened to them, bro. Like, these gangsters, this essays, Crips, Bloods, they weren't trying to hear them, you know what I mean? Until one time, there's this OG SA veterano fools that came in there. They just had a different vibe, bro. They just, for some reason, they were saying that they did time in the Pelican Bay, they did time in the Foreyard, and you know what I mean? They look like those folks from the American Me, from Training Day. I don't know if you've seen those movies from Blood In, Blood Out. And I noticed the difference. All these gangsters, this gang members, you know, they were they were super attentive. They were really listening to their stories, and I would hear them too. I still remember some of their stories until now. Imagine was 2003, and some of the stories would be like, "Yeah, man, there was like only five of us essays. They put us on the yarda with the norte, and there's like 20 of them, and what the woo woo woo." And then these kids, they were just like listening to them. So my whole point is, they're not gonna be able to relate. These gang members, these gangsters, they're not gonna be able to relate to regular people and shit, bro. Because according from my experience, these gangsters or gang members on the streets or even in prison, bro, sometimes it's from their family passed on, them being a gang member, or sometimes just like me, raised by a single mother, no father figure at the house, no father male role model. and I found it on the streets. I wanted to be cool. I've been beat up and bullied by a lot of other gang members, which I decided that to become one. You know, it's either I wanted to be a gang member too, and we took it seriously, bro. So here's what the rest of the world need to know about it, because I understand that the word gangster became like a negative word to the world. You know, like it basically when they think of the word gangster, they get scared. This is why people are scared of gangsters, because they think of unpredictable, unstable, emotional criminals. They think of like rapists, maybe like robbers and just bad people. They think of Satanists sometimes. Perhaps they might think that. They might think of just evil people. Period. So that word gangster became a super bad word. So this is the reason why most people in the world, they're scared of gangsters, bro. But let's be real. Let's try to be as real as possible. Like in this channel right here, I want to be as realist as possible, but at the same time, YouTube friendly. you know, Real as possible, but still YouTube friendly. And what do you call this? Come on, out of like, for example, out of like a million so-called gangsters or people that claim they're gangsters, maybe like 100,000 of them would be real, and 900,000 is not. It's not even real gangsters, because like for example, in prison in the West Coast, if there's a million street gangsters on the streets that would commit crime and eventually get caught and go to prison, if they don't die by whatever reason in the streets, if they ended up going to prison, those million street gangsters, 900,000 of them would end up being a peseta, a PC, a dropout, not a real gangster, meaning fake, meaning scared for their life, meaning exposed. And 100,000 would still be down for their shit, like still would die for their gang or for their hood or for their friends or for their family or whatever, what they consider family is their gangs. So it's really not that simple. It's just like saying that gangsters are evil and cops are good people, which damn well that's not even nowhere near the truth. Or it's like saying the Epstein file or the government is you should always trust the government. you know it's not that simple, bro. So the word gangster became a negative word, which I understand because you know they're criminals, man. They don't agree with the government, they don't agree with the law. But in some cases, like in the streets, in the slang, they use the word gangster as bravery. They use gangster as, man, gangster that shit, bro. Like, just be brave, man. Just do it. You know what I mean? Those are some of the terms that people use the word gangster. And for us, or for me, for example, that word became like a warrior. Because for me, a real gangster is a warrior. A warrior meaning also brave, also honorable. You know what I mean? Because they have all kinds of different point of views from different so-called gangsters. You got your gangsters that are using the word gangster as in I will do all the evil stuff possibly that they have existing, any kind of crimes or anything evil, and I would call that gangster. And then you would have the other side, the warriors that would say, for them, gangster is bravery. For them, gangster is being a warrior, living their life by a code. That means no snitching, no backstabbing your homie, no committing sex offender crime, meaning they have to have a real brotherhood to protect their hood, their family, their whoever the members of their gang. It just depends, bro. So you guys judge for yourself. What do you think gangster is? Why people are scared of gangster? But from the way I see it, from my experience that I've seen through years of being surrounded with nothing but gang members, a lot of them never evolved, and a lot of them never found anything beyond their city, or most of the time their brain does just never evolved. Their street gang just became their life. Then they don't know anything above anything else on top of being a gang member. So I don't blame them. They consider their it's an honor for them to die for their hood, for their gang, for their street. So they're just stuck on that. A lot of them, they never evolved. Their brain just they stuck on that. And this is why I've been pushing, me and the pares and shit, man. Like United Players right there in San Francisco. Shout out to Big Root and the Pare movement, G Dirty, and you know DJ Eternal, my boy Third Flow, and all the real pares. Like we have this saying that not all not all Pinoys are pares, but all pares are Pinoys, but not all Pinoys are pares. Because just because you're a Pinoy, you're a pare, doesn't mean you're a real pare. You know what I mean? But unless you fuck with the pare movement and shit. Yeah, man. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to evolve. Instead of you being stuck on stupid with your dumbass street gang, now you have to be a grown man and think of a higher priority. What is the highest priority for us? For us, it's the Almighty God, the God that created heaven and earth. You know what I mean? And loving your country, dying for your country, and dying for your family, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that you love God. You know what I mean? They're all one of the same. So in body movement, we have a different mindset. It's not about our stupid street gang anymore. Although we can never take back our past because our past made us. But at the same time, we have a different priorities now, and we no longer have that bitch mindset. The bitch mindset meaning, oh, I don't care, I'll just shoot everybody from the back, or I don't care. We care. We know we have family now. We care about our family now. We care about our children now. We care about our wife. We care about our family. We put them first before fucking dumbass street gangs, bro. Streets does not even ours. You know what I mean? So some people evolve. They become from street gangster to a real gangster to a warrior. I mean, there's an evolution on that. So a lot of people are just quick to judge street gangsters, but a lot of those kids, you know what I mean, they most likely they've been bullied by gang members on the streets when they were kids. They were probably nerds. They never experienced bravery, because maybe their parents are like, you know not so brave. You know what I mean? I don't want to say a lot of negative words because people are sensitive. And one thing I gotta respect about these gang members, these gangsters, not only do through their bravery, is they were able to experience things that any other regular man have never ever ever in their life experienced, such as risking their lives on the streets, dying for something, fighting for something, willing to die for that street, willing to die for a name, for their name. So that's not even normal. People won't even ever do that. You know what I mean? So this is the difference between those, what they're saying, that evil gangsters and gang members. It wasn't that simple. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that gangsters is what you should be. I'm just explaining my side of a story, being an ex gangster, ex gang member on the streets, gang banging, you know. But I now believe of what Julius Caesar is saying. Since my brain evolved, I became a older and better and wiser person now. That it's true. A lot of dumb men are willing to basically die a easy death, voluntarily, rather than suffer with patience for a long time. Those people that would suffer patience with a long time. Those are the real men that I'm talking about. Those are the real gangsters that I'm talking about. Those are the warriors. And the dumb kids, dumb men that are just willing to just die a quick, easy death. You can find those anywhere. Almost all men will willing to do that. But those are not the real gangsters, bro. And this is what I'm trying to say. This is why I'm trying to promote the Filipino martial arts for self-discipline. All right. Check it out, man. This is how you defend yourself. If on a street fight, if somebody would get into your face like this, talking shit to you, you know what I mean, and you know they have every intention of hurting you, or they're just a lot of bark, like you know how it is in the streets, a lot of bark, and you guys are on the same similar size, you know what I mean, similar weight. What would you do if you get into your face like this, and all of a sudden he throws a right hook because he's right-handed?
I'm here, just the neck, and then the next is the jaw, panga. The next is the balls, and then later you can use this. Boom. That's the best way in real
in street fighting.
yeah, in street fighting, yes.
But what if I'm 200 pounds heavier than you?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So.
And then I'm getting in your face and I'm going to hurt you, threatening you with physical harm, and I'm throwing a right hook because I just so happens to be a right-handed.
So if it's hook, if you block the hook, it's hard for you to maybe
Overpower you.
Yeah, overpower you. So what
big.
you're going to do is use yaw yan. So go with the force. You have to follow the force and try to reach the eyes.
Yes.
And this, boom.
The kneecap.
That's finish. Yes.
Kneecap.
That's finish. Yes.
And then after you run.
Yes, because if you block all the punch, maybe like I block you, it will still hitting me here because it's very strong. Very strong. If you follow the force and then try to reach the eyes, and this it's more better, or this is more better. That's more effective.
More in self-defense.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And
what about a straight,
big
straight guy?
The same. Go out to the line of attack. You see, this is the attack. You have go line to do attack. You can hit the balls and the face. Boom. And you can hit this one. Boom.
The kneecap.
Yes, if it's very big. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best way.
And then you run.
Because you cannot fight parang lakas na lakas eh.
Power to power.
Strong. Power
so
to
you
power.
use my power
you use,
against me.
So what you did is you do side step, you see. This is the opening already. The balls is open already. And the face is already open. And this is open. Boom.
The kneecap.
That's the best defense.
Okay.
Or if it's really big, you run more faster. You have to run. That's the best way. That's the best way.
Thank you, Master. Let's become strong. Let's become strong enough to face our fears. Fight like a man, one-on-one. Don't stab nobody from the back. Be honorable. Don't shoot people from the back. Be honorable. Fight for your family. Instead, prioritize God as number one. These are the things that we're promoting now, you know. So some of the OG homies, they know the business, they could relate, they've been there, done that. But a lot of these dumb street kids still gotta learn the lesson the hard way. But I am calling everyone out if they want to test their gangster. Because in prison, if you don't die in the street as in a shootout as an active gang member, you're gonna end up going to prison. And when you go to prison, they're gonna test your gangster. You're either gonna end up a PC, a protective custody, SNY person, or you're gonna make it. Doesn't matter if you're outnumbered. You're just gonna gangster that shit until you get out. Firme raza, or in good condition. You know what I mean? Good resume. You know, so you don't have to worry about you being a PC in prison. You don't have any mental issues and shit. You know what I mean? So this is just my point of view, bro. I understand people have their own definition of gangsters. I've been getting a lot of hate from regular civilians. Oh, you're promoting gangster. You're promoting gangbanging. But that's just because you have a small brain. You know, that's just how the world works. Some people got big brains. Some people got small brains. You know what I mean? But to those that know the business, that's been there, done that, they can relate, they know exactly what I mean. And that's what's important to me. I don't want everybody to be my friends. I just want real people to be my friends. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's my little story for today. Next time we're gonna be talking about motivation, discipline, what's the difference, knowledge, wisdom, all the basic stuff that all men should know. Everybody should know. Women doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all watching, appreciate y'all learning, and like I said, this is my journey to becoming my highest self. And if you are one of those people that want to be your highest self, want to become your best version, welcome to this journey. Watch this and shit, man. You know what I mean? Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's real, recognize real, homeboy. Out of here. Para to sa mga pare.